Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to detail incidents involving members from the Nuestra Familia. The Nuestra Familia would be formed in prison over 60 years ago, with Mexican Americans from Northern California banding together to protect themselves from the larger, more established prison gang at the time, being La M, also known as the Mexican Mafia from Southern California. The Mexican Mafia looked down on Northern Mexicans and often started issues with them, and this led to the Nuestra Familia being formed and eventually going to war with the Mexican Mafia. And the Nuestra Familia, or just known as NF, would build a name over the years and a deadly reputation. Over the years, the Nuestra Familia reign will run to the streets and have high ranking with Mexicans from Northern California who will follow the commands of the NF to the streets to prison. The NF will breed numerous reputable members from various places all throughout Northern California, some being people like Andrew, who was known as Mad Dog, Henry, who was known as Happy, Alberto, who was known as Bird, Jamie, who was known as Hennessy. All these men had reputations in the streets and also in prison, and had a long track record with police. In 2004, Henry, aka Happy, was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison after being convicted of racketeering conspiracy. He would be released in April 2010. By 2011, he became the commander of the Nuestra Familia in Oakland. He was responsible for overseeing the criminal activities. From 2010 to 2013, under the supervision of Henry and Alberto, members of the NF engaged in trafficking of drugs. They also did robberies to raise money for themselves and also the gang. At the direction of Andrew, Alberto instructed his crew to send money from their criminal activities by Western Union, the commissary accounts of gang leaders incarcerated. On September 2011, Henry stabbed 2 victims to death at an apartment in Oakland. He ordered Jamie and another gang member to burn their bodies at the apartment to cover up evidence, which they proceeded to do. The fire broke out around 1 a.m. in the upper resident area of a 2-story building. John, who was 73, and a 56-year-old woman named Renee, bodies were found when firefighters responded to the scene. John and Renee were found inside a residential unit on the 2nd floor. Their bodies were so disfigured that police initially couldn't identify them. An autopsy later revealed that John and Renee suffered multiple stab wounds, and authorities said they believed the fire was set up to cover up the crime. In January of 2012, Jamie and 2 other men committed a home invasion robbery of a drug dealer. During the robbery, Jamie beat one victim over the head with a baseball bat, and another victim was shot. In August of 2012, Alberto and 2 other members of his gang traveled to San Jose. They were supposed to meet another member of their gang. They believed he was snitching, but this led to the man being shot and killed. But what all these members didn't know was that the police had been watching their every move for several years, and the crimes they was committing or was a part of would eventually get them arrested by 2016. And this led to all men receiving lengthy sentences. Andrew received 36 years, Henry would receive 75 years to life, Alberto would receive life in prison, Jamie received 32 years, and all men most likely would die in prison. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.